Hello, SC Whitmore Social Studies students. I'm Mr. Cannon and I'm going to be teaching you U.S. history this year. History is my favorite subject. I enjoy teaching government as well, but history is my favorite. So I'm really looking forward to teaching you history. The founding of America, that's a picture of John Adams there on the left. He's my favorite founding father. Hopefully you'll get to know a little bit about him in this course. And then of course our Constitution, which is the image on the right. We're going to be learning about the founding of America all the way through pretty much the modern era. We'll get into things like 9/11, which many of you weren't alive for or don't remember. But we'll talk about things like that. So we're going to have a lot to cover in this course. It's a comprehensive course in that there's so much to cover and we'll cover it as in detail as we can. But because there's so much, we won't get into as much of the details as I would like, but that's just the nature of the course. It is a full credit course, um, and we used to divide it into Part A and Part B. Now you may be in a Part A or Part B, but most of you won't. Most of you will be in a full credit, one course, and at the end of it, there will be an EOC. So you are required to take an end of course test. For most of you, that will occur at the end of the semesters. So for those of you who are taking this at the beginning of the fall semester, you should be ready to go by January. That's one testing cycle, January. Another testing cycle is hopefully in March. That's not guaranteed, but we try to have one in March. And then we have one in May. Most of you will take your test either in January or May because that's what makes sense for a semester course. Some of you may be taking it in October if you started the course last year and didn't quite finish, or you may take it in March if you start a little bit later in the first semester and can't finish by winter break. But each individual is unique there. But those are the four main dates: October, January, hopefully March, though that's not guaranteed, and then in May. Those are the testing cycles. You'll be hearing more about that as time goes on. Certainly, you can ask me any questions about that if you have them. Okay, just a little bit about myself. If you've already watched the opening uh, video, the welcome message in U.S. history, then you already know a little bit about me. But just to give you a little bit more, this is my family. I'm married, Lindsay there. We've been married 16 years. We have three boys. Jackson Lee is 14. He runs cross country at Lexington High School. Hudson is 11. He just went into sixth grade in middle school. And then Graham is still in elementary school and he's 8 years old. We enjoy watching sports. We're Gamecock fans. I love golf. Phil Mickelson is my favorite golfer, so I watch a lot of the Live Tour. And we just enjoy playing sports and watching sports, and we're also very active in our church. So that's a little bit about me. Um, I hope that as you move forward in the course, that is something that you think about that your teacher is a person, and I try to think my students are not just names on a screen. They're real people, and we can have interactions that way, knowing that. Some things you need to know to be successful in this course. Number one, communication. Make sure you communicate well with me. If you have a question, if you're stuck on anything, let me know. If it's a more detailed response you need, then make an appointment to meet with me. I'm on my calendar. You can always do that. They're 15-minute increments. I have sessions in the morning and in the afternoon. And if there's something that doesn't work for you, you can always contact me and let me know that, and I will work around your schedule, whatever we need to do. Another thing that I didn't cover in my intro video, but I really want to talk about here, and you can see it in the two images. Um, Now listen, I'm not, if you could see a video of my desk right now, it would look more like the right picture than the left. It would look pretty disorganized. So I'm not saying that you can't be successful if you're not quite as organized as the picture on the left, but it is important that you have some organization, even if it may be one that only you understand. You need to be organized. What organization does is it allows us to keep track of our materials. It allows us to keep track of our assignments, to know what we're doing. More important than that, though, is just to have a schedule and be organized with your time. That's more important than even the pictures you're seeing there. Organized with your time, meaning that you have a set time to work on U.S. history every day. That you don't just decide, I'm going to work at 7 o'clock tonight, and then I'll skip a few days and work again at 6 o'clock in the morning on history. That generally is a bad idea and a recipe to not do well. The students who are most successful in my course are those who have an organized schedule. They set a time. It doesn't mean that it always works out, because certainly things happen. Maybe you work, maybe you have family emergencies, maybe you play a sport, but generally you can set a schedule that you can stick to on most days. And if you stick to that schedule, you'll mainly stay on pace in the course, which will allow you to be successful. So that's the number one advice I will give you, is to set your schedule and stick to it as much as you can. If you get a little bit behind the pace, it's not a big deal. It's when you get, 20 to 30% behind the pace, meaning that you're supposed to be done with half the course and you're only done with 10% of it. That's where we have an issue, and that's where you need to communicate and let me know what's going on so that I can help you. But keeping a schedule will help you to stay as close to on pace as possible. And some of you actually will stay over that pace because you're on a schedule. Don't sweat the pace so much that you make sure you're right on it, but do make sure that you're not getting too far behind. And as always, I'm here to help you. Another way to be successful is to make sure that you don't let things get out of control before you ask for help. Ask for help immediately, or let me know your concern immediately, because the quicker you can do that, the quicker we can get things resolved. I know you're going to do great this year. I'm so looking forward to teaching you history and seeing you learn about the founding of America and how we've come where we've come from. I'm just so excited about that, and I know you're going to do great.